California Governor Gavin Newsom is on one this week. I mean, he is really wigging out, so much so his slick back hair is almost coming out of place. Over 36, yes, 36 illegal immigrants being flown and dropped off in Sacramento last week. Gavin's Twitter fingers have been working overtime as he blows his top over this, and he is now vowing to launch an investigation into this travesty, claiming the state of Florida and those involved are guilty of criminal kidnapping.
Here's a governor from the state of Florida that is using taxpayer money, and he had to go to another state to find people under false pretense. I don't think this, I know this. I talked to the migrants, lied to them, took them into another state by bus, and then took them on a chartered flight to Sacramento, lying to them that they had help on the other side, knocked on the door, and they left these migrants right there on the steps. What kind of human being does that?
Well, first of all, Gavi, these illegals were not lied to. They wanted to go to California to see you in your sanctuary state. Here they are signing the paperwork and expressing excitement at being in California. I mean, Gavin, I agree with you. Your state is a crap hole, so I also am perplexed as to why they want to go there. But nevertheless, just take it in, bask in it. After all, you are a proud sanctuary state, so the more the merrier, right?
I'm very proud to be from California. I wouldn't rather be from any other place than the state of California. Proudly a sanctuary state, a state that has the backs of your families, the dreamers, and diverse communities.
Gavin, your state is a sanctuary state. Florida is not. You co-sign illegal activity. Florida does not. You reap what you sow, and you sowed the seeds of endorsing and encouraging illegal immigration. So why should red states like Texas and Florida have to bear the burden? Governor DeSantis sent you an early Christmas gift. You really should be thanking him. Oh, and folks, by the way, there is again no doubt in my mind Gavin will run in 2024. He wants Ron to notice him so badly he's practically begging for his attention. But for now, he'll have to settle with Ron's little memento, a plane full of dreamers. So enjoy, Gavin. That rescue dog revenge tour you just saw was made possible by my next guests, Duke Hemstreet and Stephanie Rowe, founders of The Powerful Rescue. They've made it their mission to rescue the most in need and formerly unwanted dogs and give them the life they and all dogs truly deserve. And they join me now. Duke, Stephanie, it's so great to have you guys.
Hey, thanks so much for having us on.
It's a pleasure. And we'd like to apologize in advance just in case you guys hear dogs in the background.
Oh, we love it. That's perfect noise distraction. And I got to tell you, it was hard for me to get through that intro because every time I see that video, it chokes me up in honestly the best way because it's so beautiful. I follow you guys on Instagram. I see what you guys do on a daily basis. It's so inspiring. In a time in this country when we are so divided, when there are so many things going wrong, seeing what the two of you do is absolutely inspirational. And I see it in the comments. You know, I see such diversity in your comments, so many people from all walks of life, all political affiliations, all colors, all genders, coming together because of what you guys are doing for dogs. So you got to tell me how this rescue started and what you guys do on a daily basis to protect and give these dogs the lives they deserve.
I'll let Steph take how we started.
So it actually started very organically. It was just picking up strays. I would leave to go to work in the morning and I would have to call my boss and say, hey, sorry, I'm running a little bit behind. I found another dog. And after a year of doing that, and I think we took on like 30 dogs that first year, and we would take care of their medical and, get them scanned to make sure they didn't have a chip and try to find their owners. And then if we couldn't find their owners, we would rehome them. And after a year of doing that,
and tens of thousands of dollars
You know,
later
we looked at our finances
out of pocket.
We should probably file for a nonprofit license. So we filed for a 501c3 and we became a nonprofit dog rescue. And I guess animal rescue now, since we have a pig.
We have a pig. We have a few cats.
Yeah.
As far as the daily routine, we do our best to be as transparent as we can. I think something a little different that we do that not all nonprofits do, we foster damn near all of our own dogs. I think we have 3 or 4 active fosters, so we could have 20 to 30 dogs at a time in our house. Right now, I think we have 22. So the morning starts off around 4 a.m. We're up, we're helping with the special needs dogs because some of them need help going to the bathroom, getting dogs outside, rotating in kennels. And that really doesn't stop until probably 10:30, 11.
So it's a constant go
it's a
here
busy
for
day.
sure.
I cannot imagine. I have 2 dogs and they are plenty of work. But the dogs that
I've seen them too. They're adorable.
Thank you. The dogs that you guys rescue, there are a lot of rescues out there doing wonderful work. But what I've noticed from your rescue is that you guys really take in the dogs that need the most help. I mean, the dogs that most people, even animal lovers, would give up on because they're in really bad shape. They have been abused, they have been neglected, they've been left for dead. They are senior dogs that people have just dumped off when they are no longer useful to their owners. I mean, it's truly heartbreaking. And then with this economy now, I'm wondering, have you guys seen an uptick? I know that shelters across the nation are absolutely jam-packed and full. Have you noticed a difference in what you've seen in the last couple of years as far as the number of rescues and need for rescue, especially in your area all across the country as well?
Yeah, I mean, personally, it's the worst I've ever seen.
Yeah, hands down. I think a lot of people during the pandemic, they were home and adopted. And when things started to open back up and schedules changed and people had to go back into the office, they started dropping a lot of dogs off at the shelter. And, from a financial standpoint, I think a lot of people are hurting right now and can't afford basic medical. So they drop a dog off. Same thing with senior dogs that we've taken on, 17, 18, 19, 20-year-old dogs that are just being dropped off because they are senior and they need a little extra help. So we definitely have seen an increase in the animals that are dropped off. Any shelter out here in Texas, Dallas, San Antonio, they are euthanizing close to 300 dogs per month.
Wow.
And that's just math. They have X amount of kennels and X amount of dogs that are coming in.
Yeah, I was going to say intake for San Antonio just last month, they had 1,100 dogs come in. And I think they only had 255 adopted out by the public, and then 500 or 600 were pulled by rescues. So, I mean, when these shelters fill up, there's no space, there's nowhere to go. So it's unfortunate. And, we don't blame the shelters. There's certain things that could definitely be done better. But as a whole, the people there and the people that volunteer there, it's an incredibly difficult place to volunteer. So we have a lot of respect for people that go do that.
Oh, absolutely. There are great shelters across the country, and then there's some not so great ones. Earlier, a few months back, I did some reports on some LA area animal shelters that were leaving these animals in the kennel for months at a time, not cleaning up after them, deeming them to be aggressive just so that they didn't have to walk them. I mean, really disgusting stuff. I'm sure you guys have heard stories like that from across the country. But I want to go to your operation because I think there are so many Americans out there that say, if I ever just won the lottery, I would set up an animal sanctuary for all these animals. But it's got to be, even though you are a nonprofit, you do receive donations. How do you guys fund this? Because it's got to be incredibly expensive, not just to house all these dogs, but to pay for their medical and their special needs.
Yeah, I mean, I'm trying to remember. This was back in 2021. We last had the numbers. What was it that we raised and spent on medical?
Oh, so we just did our taxes for the year, but we raised a little over 300,000, but we spent I think it was 220 on medical. The rest was on supplies. So Duke and I don't take a salary from the rescue. Everything is done through Instagram, Facebook, our website. There's also a platform called Cuddly, where it's basically a GoFundMe for dogs that need a little more medical attention. And it's all donation based. So everything that we bring in is for medical and supplies for the dogs and anything that, they need to live comfortably here in our house.
Yeah, just improving their quality of life, making sure they're getting out. We have some treadmills for the Malinois we've taken in because we're seeing an uptick in those dogs going to the shelter. And that is a absolutely wonderful but psychotic breed.
I think, Duke and myself, we're pretty business savvy. That's what our background is. So we like to treat the rescue like a business and market it like a business. So I think something that we do that's very different from other rescues is we show our face. We're constantly on social media. We bring people into our home. We showcase from beginning, the hard stuff, the good stuff, when the dog gets adopted, or if the dog gets to live out, it stays here with us. So I think that's what makes us a little bit different than some rescues, is we invite people to be a part of the entire journey. So they get to see it from, start to finish.
Yeah, you take in the kind of dogs we do, you have to be really good at marketing for sure.
Yeah, no, I mean, that video that I played at the top there, how did you guys arrange that with the Texas Rangers there? Because that was truly beautiful. And I wish we could do that across the country. Let's get rescue dogs into every major league ballpark. I think the fans would love it. The people would love it. MLB has got some real image cleaning up to do. And I suggest this. I think nobody's going to protest a rescue dog night. But how did that come about?
Well, I mean, that is 100% Jacqueline Gray. John Gray's wife, she came across a post kind of similar to you. It was Nova Gray, who was set on fire in San Antonio. And it was the next day we had like 30 boxes, like a truckload of beds and supplies and toys. And she sent over a large donation and a nice message. We just kind of stayed in communication from there. And she's been following along with what we do. And she really believes in what we do. Even more than the opportunities she's given us, there's it's so hard to get pit bulls the airtime that they deserve and the positive news that they deserve. And she's been so good to every single dog in our rescue and advocating for the pit bulls we take in, and seeing pit bulls get some mainstream kind of media attention has been really great.
That's beautiful. So I know my audience, like me, we love rescues. We love what you guys are doing. In what way can my audience help you guys out to continue to be able to rescue these really high need dogs? How can we help? How can we help your operation?
Spreading the word. I mean, going on our website, going on our social media and sharing. If you can't donate right now, that's perfectly fine. Share. There's people out there that don't know what's going on. You don't know what you don't know. So sometimes people come across our page and they're like, I would never drop off a senior dog at the shelter. I'm like, guys, it happens on a daily basis across the country. Yeah. If you just share a post, you never know who's watching. You never know who could step up to help. So if you're not in a position to donate or to foster right now, just share the post. You never know who's watching, and getting the word out there and educating people is just such an important part of our journey with the rescue.
And we always tell people education is key. We can get as frustrated as we want, but people are going to do what they're going to do. But the truly evil people that are really neglecting and abusing these dogs, the people that set Nova on fire, and we've had worse too, like that's a very small demographic. I really do believe that. I think there's a lot of dogs that end up in the shelter just from a lack of education. Steph started the rescue out in LA. And before she left, they were pushing the no-kill LA kind of narrative. And I mean, every rescue out there, a bunch of friends we have out there, we all saw it coming. But I mean, intake went through the roof, because when you have a narrative or something being talked about where you're no-kill, which I think it's 80% is the guideline, 90. Mm-hmm. But that doesn't include any dogs with behavioral notes or medical notes. So you have information like that going out, and unfortunately, dogs suffer because of it. It makes it easier for owners to go turn in their dogs.
Right. Well, no kill doesn't mean that it's a good environment. So that's important to point out for people. Well, I just want you guys to know I appreciate you. I will continue to follow and repost your content on social media. You guys do an excellent job there. I truly believe, and I've commented on your stuff before, even if it annoys people because they don't like my politics, I do believe you guys are doing the Lord's work. So thank you for all that you do, and we will continue to be big advocates for everything. And again, I just can't tell you how inspirational that you have been in a dark place in America right now. You guys are a bright, shining spot. So I appreciate you.
We appreciate that.
Thank you so much for using your platform to, share what we're doing and what other rescues are doing. It really means a lot to us.
Yeah. You can be a little bit of a polarizing figure. We learned really quick. We had a few DMs from one comment you left. I was like, oh, it's going to be like this. Okay.
Yeah. If we can't come together and appreciate
Exactly.
dog rescue. I mean, I don't care if you hate my politics, you hate who I'm going to vote for, but you know what? If I'm sitting there and I'm advocating to millions of followers about rescuing dogs, you think we could all come together in that. You're always going to have the haters, but I think by and large we can all come together in a unified message on that. So I appreciate you guys, and you're going to be on my show, so I apologize in advance for those whose feathers it might ruffle, but it's going to be okay in the long run.
Absolutely. And like Steph said, we appreciate you. You know, and continue to comment on our stuff. If people want to throw a fit, that's fine.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I appreciate you guys. God bless you, and best of luck with all those dogs.
God bless.
Thank
Take care.
you.